أهلا بحضراتكم معانا في الحياة اليوم في أول لقاء من نوعه على الإطلاق لأي برنامج تلفزيوني مصري. الحوار اليوم مع السيدة المسؤولة عن إدارة العلاقات الخارجية الأمريكية في جميع أنحاء العالم. الحوار من داخل وزارة الخارجية الأمريكية مع السيدة هيلاري كلينتون وزيرة الخارجية الأمريكية في إدارة باراك أوباما، إدارة نظر لها العالم العربي بطموح وبدأت الطموحات تقل يوم بعد الآخر. لن نتحدث عن العالم العربي بشكل عام، ولكن سنتحدث عن حالة مختلفة تحدث حاليا بالتحديد طبعا في مصر. كيف تنظر الإدارة الأمريكية للعلاقات المصرية الأمريكية بينما مصر تغيرت لأول مرة بهذا الشكل من 30 سنة. بالمناسبة وإحنا بنتكلم عن الحالة المصرية، نفس السيدة التي نتحدث معها اليوم السيدة هيلاري كلينتون كان في عام 2009 نشر لها عنوان على غلاف مجلة التايم يقول: حالة الخارجية الأمريكية تحت إدارة هيلاري كلينتون. حالة مختلفة تماما يتوقعها الأمريكيون، وهي تتابع أيضا حالة مختلفة تماما في مصر. Madam Secretary, we're really pleased to have you here and honored to have you on our show, Al Hayya Al Yawm. And it's exciting times in Washington, it's exciting times even in Cairo. I'd like to ask you about your assessment after nearly 8 months of the Egyptian revolution. How do you in Washington look at what's happening in Cairo?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Amir, for having me on this show and giving me a chance to talk with you. And I want to say that from our perspective, we are very impressed and encouraged by what we see happening in Egypt. We know this is a difficult transition period, and in the great span of Egyptian history, one of the most important moments of your history. And I think it's essential that all of us look at how much has been accomplished in the last 8 months, and the fact that elections are scheduled, that there is a path forward for this very vibrant, new democratic change is very encouraging, and we think it's on the right track.
You're talking about the very positive things that's been taking place. However, there are so many among the Egyptian politicians and intellectuals, some fears or concerns about the extension of a military rule. How do you think SCAF is holding up and managing the transitional period?
Well, they took on an enormous responsibility that they never expected they would have to shoulder. But the fact that they are moving toward elections, I think, is not only important but essential. I expect them to fulfill the promises that they have made to the Egyptian people, because you cannot have the democratic governance that you are seeking unless you have a fully free, fair, transparent set of elections that then empowers the people who have been elected. But this is what we expect to see happen, and of course we will express concerns if we don't see it happening, but there is a schedule we believe needs to be followed.
Speaking of elections, how do you look on the elections process, especially that, as you, of course, you've been following, you have new players, the fundamental Islamic political movements. How do you look on that?
I think it's important that people's voices be given an outlet to participate in the political system. But I also think that there must be a commitment to respecting human rights, to freedom of religion, freedom of speech, to the rights of women, and there has to be an agreed upon understanding of what it will take for Egypt to go from where you are today to where I would like to see Egypt. I really believe that Egypt's always been a leader of the Arab world. Egypt can become a world leader. There's a difference. Egypt could, with the right political and economic reforms, become one of the top 20 economies in the world, maybe even eventually one of the top 10. There is so much that is in the potential. It can be so easily derailed. As you said, somehow not permitting the elections to go forward, military rule continuing, having one election one time that empowers people who have no interest in continuing to modernize the society, rejecting the rights of all Egyptians in favor of one particular point of view. That's what the Egyptian people have to be careful about. You want an Egypt where people are free to be liberal, fundamentalist, conservative, progressive, whatever their particular views are, but showing respect for the state, for the institutions of the state, and the rights of the people. And that's what I see you searching for and moving toward.
Will you be ready or prepared to sit in with a government with members of the Muslim Brotherhood as members, or other Islamic parties?
We will be willing to and open to working with a government that has representatives who are committed to nonviolence, who are committed to human rights, who are committed to the democracy that I think was hoped for in Tahrir Square, which means that Christians will be respected, women will be respected, people of differing views within Islam will be respected. We have said we will work with those who have a real commitment to what an Egyptian democracy should look like. Now, we don't expect your democracy to mirror ours. Every country is unique historically and culturally. But we do think from long experience around the world, there are certain pillars to a democracy: a free press, free speech, independent judiciary, protection of minority rights, protection of human rights, all that was in the air in Tahrir Square. So we hope that anyone who runs for election, and certainly anyone who's elected and joins the parliament, joins a government, will be committed to making Egypt work and be open to all Egyptians, no matter who you might be.
You're looking at things very positively, and that's the same maybe atmosphere back in Egypt, with some fears, of course, but it's the main feeling there. According to reports released a couple of weeks ago, the Congress will be always waiting for your words in a report to assess the kind of U.S. aid that's been given to Egypt. How do you look on that? Is the U.S. aid, be it civilian or military, really jeopardized in the next near future?
I do not believe so. I very much support continuing aid. We have provided aid both for civilian and military purposes going back many decades now, and it's been bipartisan. Republicans and Democrats have supported it. We believe in aid to your military without any conditions, no conditionality. I've made that very clear. I was with the foreign minister, Minister Amr, yesterday, and was very clear in saying that the Obama administration and I personally am against that. I think it's not appropriate. At the same time, we do have a long experience in understanding what works and what doesn't work. And I'll give you an example. You were asking questions about, what happens if certain people are in the government. Well, it's really going to be up to the Egyptian people as to how they organize themselves for these elections. But I think it's fair to point out that if there is an organized Islamic party and 40 other parties that divide up all of the votes, then I think one party will have a stronger position. And I have been speaking with